Yo, what's good everybody? And today I have the true flame build. Now, this build is probably one of the most fire-based things in the game. I mean, as you can see here, this is just all fire. Like, I'm just a red, like, demon. Literally, I'm just a red demon. So the first things that I'm going to show you are the weapons. The first weapon is the Darius Great Axe. This weapon is a fire and physical damage weapon, and they both scale off strength. So it's a very good weapon. And the fire attack can be increased with things such as the Imp Rune. So taking into mind when making this build, I try to min-max the maximum amount of fire damage that you can get on one single build. And I came up with the fact that Infernum, the 6-horned race, gives another 20% fire damage bonus, attack bonus, on all sources. Meaning, with this weapon doing an extra 10% or doing 10 fire damage, I'm doing an extra 20% fire damage, including the Imp Rune, which is at 25. So right now we are at 25 damage with just these two combinations of race and rune on the weapon. Now, as you guys can see behind me, we also have the Fire Fairy. Right now it's only a 10% buff, but with the Maelus ring we will be getting 15% buff to certain fire spells. So these fire spells include Flame Pillar and Ignite. I have not tested if it actually works on Hell's Embrace, which is the wall that summons in front of you. I have not tested if that actually works. I don't think it is, because it's not a fire spell. It's more of just like a race move. However, with this move, or with this fairy, we're giving another 10% extra fire damage when we use our spells, meaning that with our race, we have a 20% here, 10% here, and we have the 5% on this weapon. And we're able to use these moves in combat without having to switch to our Imp Staff, which is the second part of this build. Now, in combat, whenever I want to use Flame Pillar or Hell's Embrace or anything with flame moves, all I'm going to do is quick switch between these two. And this staff is not the best at all. It has 21 intellect and 8 spirit. However, this thing gives a 15% fire attack because of the Imp Rune. Normally this gives a 10% fire attack, but I'm getting an additional 15% with the rune. So in total, with the Imp Staff out, we are doing an additional 20% with the race, 15% with the staff, and then another 10% with the Fire Fairy. So 20 plus 15, 35, 45 with the Fire Fairy. And once we get the Maelus ring, we will be doing 50% extra fire damage with the Imp Staff out. Now I want to remind you guys that this weapon, or this fire damage, is something in the game that cannot be resisted that often. You need to get specific runes to actually resist fire damage. And in order to do this, you gotta like use extra rune slots on something that, you know, you're not really wanting to use. You can use that stuff for extra strength, extra other resistances such as magic resistance, because fire damage isn't as much as a threat compared to everything else in this game. However, with this build, we are completely taking advantage of that. And of course, you see min-max builds that have 6 rune slot chest piece and 4 boots and 4 rune slot helmets that have ancient demon runes and all these crazy stuff. However, those things aren't realistic, bro. Like, you see them from the big YouTubers, but are you getting that? I don't think so, bro. Like, you aren't getting the ancient demon rune that gives you fire resistance. Like, that's the reason some of these people got that. But the reason why we are actually doing this is to take advantage of the use of fire. And fire in the game is a busted stat. Not only does it actually scale off intellect, it does scale off intellect. Every 50 intellect that you get, that's another 2 damage onto every fire move. And with this build, we are going 45 or 40-10. So we have the mana shield right now from the 5 mage, and we're going to put our last 5 points into this. But this build is truly one of the craziest builds for PvP. Now in PvE, I do not know personally how strong this is. we are running Berserker, so I'm assuming that if we can just get enough hits off with all of these moves that we got. I'm personally not a big Berserker user. However, let's go ahead and run over to Braylor and Lycanthar and fight them real quick. Alright, now at this, be in mind I have no clue how to truly use Berserker. I'm very new to it, just made the build for this reason of progressing and making this very cool build with Warrior Mage. So let's go ahead and try this. It's going to take probably a few tries, I'm assuming, if we can actually do this right. So we're going to instantly switch to this one, get the Flame Pillar off, switch back, and now it does get broken with whenever you do use the switch move. I do not know why, but go ahead and do this. Hell's Embrace, doing Ignite here, and then we can just probably just Enrage here and just M1 through all of this. Assault. Let's get basically just M1 him to death. That was very, very easy. The weapon is bugged because whenever you switch it, for some reason it does just disappear. However, switching between both of these doesn't seem hard at all. The combination between both, doing another 45% extra flame damage with my spells, is very insane to me at least. And we are able to actually increase that still if we get the Malus ring. So I'm very hyped for that, to actually get this build to max. I am about to leave for vacation. This is going to be a pre-recorded video, but go ahead and fight Lycanthar and see how we do. Alright, so let's go ahead, turn on our mana shield, and we're going to switch to our Imp Staff. Throw that in, and we're going to switch right back. First, we're going to counter. Oh my god, and he basically just predicted it. Hit him with this. Charge. Hit him with like Ignite here, posture broken. And critical, boom. And in the second stage already, we're going to switch to our Imp Staff. Hit him with a Flame Pillar. He should be attacking us right here. And let's go ahead and Enrage. Hit him with this. Go ahead and hit him with an Ignite as well. M1, M1, M1. We're going to Threshing Strike here and basically just do all of his health. Threshing Strike is such a good move to actually do all this. And obviously, I do not have the really good Berserker moves equipped because I'm still trying all them out. I don't want to make a video saying, oh, these are the best Berserker moves to have, even because when I don't know them, I truly do not know the best Berserker stuff. So I'm simply just trying it out, trying to make it work, and not using the other ones. I also do not have the level 48 Berserker move, so that as well. But hopefully you guys do enjoy. This is a mainly PvP focused build. Doing Lycanthar and Braylor doesn't really show you how much damage this thing does. Even though it does a ton of damage, against these, this thing really does shine in PvP. Having a long range option of Flame Pillar and the Imp Staff doing another 50% damage. Having a 50% damage extra Flame Pillar is so good compared to everything else in the game that doesn't have any fire damage. And the M1 of the weapon is also extremely good. I have to equip it like this so it actually doesn't break. Oh, and we broke it again. But basically, with this build, super good for PvP. It's not going to shine in Arena. You can still make do with it because it's a Berserker, and I also do not know how to play Berserker at all. But if you guys do enjoy this build, please subscribe. I'm really trying to get to 3K, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the next one. See you.